as a stream controller. I want to say, a couple of those
Plenty of
for names.
technology.
Yeah. Okay, we're live now. I just saw the pop up.
But,
Cool. Hey, Angus, man,
hi,
thanks for having
so
me on.
I'm Angus Hilsley. Hi,
So,
so I'm Angus Hilsley here, the CEO of Motivational Consults, and I'm very excited to introduce today that we're going to be interviewing is Curtis McCoy. He is a business developer, a writer, and also a motivational speaker. And we've got him on today for some questions to ask him a little bit about himself and the knowledge that he's got through his experiences and how he can pass them on to people that are interested. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you now to Curtis. How are you doing?
man, I'm doing good. Thanks, Angus. It's an honor for me to be on your podcast today. I know you're just getting started out, but I'm really excited that you picked me as one of your first guests.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was great to manage to be able to collaborate together and get ourselves together for an interview like this. It's a fantastic way to pass on knowledge and really just get your point and all the experiences and stuff that I've read a lot about you, and I think it'd be fantastic to kind of get a lot of your experience and knowledge passed on to my clients and hopefully people further afield as well.
Cool, man. Thanks so much. Hey, I was just going to mention, too, we got to talk for a sec before this started, and you've got a great presence on camera, a great personality, and just a easy guy to talk to, so I think you're going to go real far with this.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully it can be that way with a lot of clients, and hopefully make people feel a bit relaxed and chilled out and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So without further ado, let's go into what do you feel is the main reason why you got into the specific career of motivation and inspiration, and why you came to write all the books that you have on all the topics that you have done so far?
Man, that's a great question, Angus. I talked about that answer a bit actually in my most recent book, How to Be Successful, Think Like a Leader.
Yeah,
There's a number of motivational speakers and authors who get rich by just motivating people. And, they really maybe don't have much fruit on the tree. There's a lot that do, but a lot of them that are just really great at hyping people up. And,
yeah,
you go pay however many dollars to sit in the convention and watch them. And you get done, you're like, man, I'm so excited, so happy, so motivated, and I have no clue what to do with my life. So
yeah,
I never planned on speaking. I've spoke at Caesar's Palace and different things, but
yeah.
I never planned on writing books or speaking. I was building companies. So I had a pharmaceutical company, a cosmetic medical laser franchise, a Christian clothing company. We were doing nutritional supplement manufacturing and distribution, and had a few businesses that were doing
Yeah.
very well. And then I was diagnosed with brain cancer. So I started having 7 to 10 seizures a week, and that had been going on forever. But we thought that was happening because of the diabetes. And
Yeah.
so it was just like, yeah, I pass out and have a seizure once in a while and get back up and go to work. And, I was working 14, 16, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week for years. And it just got worse and worse. And went from, sponsoring all these sporting events at the Pepsi Center and, all kinds of crazy things to woke up one morning and half my body didn't work. And so
Yeah.
I rolled out of bed. I was bodybuilding at the time. So I pulled myself over, rolled out of bed. I think I was 252 pounds, all swole up
Wow.
and vein going up my jaw, So, with that whole bodybuilding thing, it was mind over matter. So,
Yeah.
to do a 455-pound bench, it was like, yeah, your body is built to do a lot less weight than that. But if you can convince your mind to just keep pushing,
Yeah.
you could do a lot of crazy stuff that you didn't expect. So I
Definitely.
crawled over, drugged myself into the kitchen on one arm because the other arm was dead, and I rolled in there, pulled my phone off the counter, called my mom, and as we're trying to talk, I was trying to tell her, hey, I think I got too low. I had another seizure, but what was coming out of my mouth is chicken, pituitary, waffle, phone charger. So I wasn't able to control even the words that I was communicating.
Wow. Yeah.
Paramedics showed up. She called him going, okay, this is worse than just the normal diabetic seizure that I'm having every day. So paramedics showed up, and I started trying to talk to them, telling them, hey, listen, I understand the medical terminology and stuff. I own a cosmetic medical laser franchise, a pharmaceutical company. I understand this. Don't talk to me like I'm a kid. So I was trying to talk. It was the same random just string of gibberish. So I'm getting furious, I'm like, why can't I talk? So
Yeah.
the guy hands me a notebook. I write out a note and hand it back to him. I'm trying to tell him, listen, I'm insulin dependent diabetic. I had a seizure. And he looks at the note confused and hands me back the notepad. And it's the same random string of junk that I'd written down. So I crossed it out.
Really?
I wrote it down again. I'm like, so now I'm mad at them going, that's not what I was saying. So I write down my note, hand it back. He reads it again. And he tells his partner, hey, he's had a stroke. We got to get him laid down, get him strapped down right away. This stroke victim. I'm like, I'm trying to go, I didn't have a stroke, you idiot. But I couldn't even communicate that.
Yeah, couldn't get the words out. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to the hospital there, and I had completely lost the ability to speak by then, and the doctors started running tests. I mean, everything from Spinal Tap to MRI and CT scan and different things, and diagnosed me with a malignant glioblastoma brain tumor. And
wow,
my mom was living like 5.5 hours away. She got to the hospital, and they're telling her that I remember the doctor putting his hand on my mom's shoulder and saying, hey, make some memories. We've got a little bit of time left. We want to do chemo and radiation and brain surgery, but there's no chance that he's going to survive 5 years. So, go to Disneyland, do something, take him on make some memories.
Yeah, enjoy the time that you've got left.
Yeah. And so, again, I'm furious, and I'm going, I don't want to go to flipping Disneyland, just like...
Yeah.
But, because of the inability to talk, and because I probably was looking like a little kid. So, yeah, he's just telling my mom, hey, there's no chance of survival. My parents took me to Tijuana, Mexico, and was actually, we went through some unapproved treatments and stuff, and ended up doing okay there. But so that's a real long answer to the question. But as that all happened, I started writing blog posts and journaling and stuff, and I'm reading all these books on personal development as I'm trying to keep notes, because I read a book, and by the time I finished a chapter, I had no clue what the book I was reading or what it was even about.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it and taking notes in this blog at the same time. And that turned into, this whole motivational thing as I was building up my next business. And I had a podcast guest on one day that was asking about monetizing the blog. And I didn't even know that there was a way to make money off of the Facebook group. So I had 40,000 members in the group and was losing money every month paying for all the plugins and different stuff to keep it running.
Yeah.
So I stumbled into the motivation stuff on accident, because it was just, I was just trying to provide value and, with those blog posts, and also help inspire other people as I was doing that.
Well, that's amazing. It really takes a life experience like that to really just hone everything down. And when you're put in that position of thinking that you've not got any time left, to come back from that and to achieve what you've really achieved is really the epitome of motivation and inspiration, and to use that experience to try and inspire and teach other people about motivation. It really is the best way to do it, I think, which is a great thing, definitely.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and so from there, you've taken this career. So you've went from your Facebook group and your podcasts and stuff, and you've wrote quite a few books as well. Your book, How to Be Successful, is targeted at people who want to achieve more and how they want more out of life. And how do you really feel that this book that you wrote is unique and really targeting what people are needing for that next step that they want in life?
That again, that's another great question. This book is really unique because as I was going through this journey of, I went from making a ton of money, multiple companies, everything successful, and then crashing and burning and having, literally going bankrupt, and I had to move out and sleep on my parents' floor, little one bedroom log cabin, and went from kind of the dream life to absolutely broken. I mean, I wasn't able to drive, wasn't able to live alone. I couldn't even sleep alone because the seizures and stuff. The doctors are thinking I could die at any time, so I needed somebody there in case I choked or something. So with that going along, as I'm interviewing these folks, I think it's a good perspective on. If I'd have written the book 10 years ago when I had all the money and all the all these successful companies, and we'd go into a sporting event and I'd snap my fingers and 18 guys would show up wearing my T-shirts and okay, Mr. McCoy, where we're going to set, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So if I'd have
Definitely.
written a book on success at that time, it would have just been, look at all the fancy stuff I got. Look at my new motorcycle. You know, I've been able to do all these
Yeah, it
great
would have been a
things.
completely different perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so now I've got that, you know, that perspective of you can be real successful and you can lose everything overnight. And then, here's how you build back if you,
Yeah,
either from scratch or
coming from the bottom and building yourself back up is literally the best approach to have at it. Like, people can literally, especially people that are down in these places, they can really relate to it. And I think that's probably why it's been such a great seller.
Yeah. So, and besides that, there's the chapters. So I've got interviewing these, you know, multimillionaires, successful investors, inventors, athletes. You know, the guy that invented the MP3 player, the #1 Navy SEALs team sniper in history. You know, the guy that won the Magnum Warrior competition. You know, just top of their game kind of folks. A guy, you know, a preacher, a guy that's an ex-convict, spent time in prison. Now he's a successful entrepreneur. So it's just a good look at, okay, what if I'm in prison right now? I'm going to get out of prison, and what do I do with my life? We've got an ex-con in there that's talking about how he became successful. A lot of different options.
No, yeah, it's really good how you've got such a vast variety of lifestyles and different positions that people are coming from to achieve success. So it's really covering a lot of good start points for people that are in all different forms of positions, that they can really adapt to and try to use the book to obviously achieve what they want to in life, which is great. And so from that, what do you think are the main problems that people face nowadays when starting their own business?
That's I had a question, or I had a response all written out, but there's a problem to any solution. So people say there's a solution to any problem. There is always an excuse you can make to let your business fail, or to not start a business, or to, you know, not progress in the business. But I mean, there's a million problems. We could not, you know, if I spent the next month and just listed line by line problems businesses can have, I wouldn't cover them all. But the beauty of that, the thing that I love, is we've got the sum of all human knowledge in our pocket now. I mean, all of us carry some type of smartphone, and you know, or a tablet, or a laptop, or, you know, another one right here. So there's a solution to any problem, and typically that solution is studying. So there's stuff available on YouTube, or videos like this, or you know, any books, audiobooks, podcasts, whatever. So I won't deal with the problems in business. It's just, if there is a solution, just got to keep going and find it. Yeah,
no, definitely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's we're in a position now in the world where you've literally got everything at your fingertips. So it just literally takes people to figure out what their problems are, and I guarantee that they can find a solution to that problem somewhere on the internet. And it's down to them, really, isn't it? Like how much they want to push for it.
I mean, Elon Musk built not only a flamethrower, but he's built an electric car company, and, you know, launched rockets into space, learning stuff on the internet. So that's if you can make an excuse now, that's proof that it's just your excuse.
Yeah, exactly. There really is no excuse. And it's a lot of the time it is when people are in the position in life, but they're not where they would like to be or achieve their goals. They really need to change their behavior. And so, from your experiences, what methods do you think are the most effective to change people's behavior in terms of if they want to achieve something more?
So the first thing is consistent action. We've had, I talk to people all the time with consulting, where they're going, I've been trying this for 2 weeks straight, and, you know, I have no results. I go to the gym every day for a month, and I'm only down a few pounds. And, like, that consistent action, everybody wants the overnight instant gratification, you know, quick switch. People ask me all the time, how did you get 300,000 followers, or 300,000 members in your group? How do you get, you know, 20,000 some odd folks following your Facebook page? It's daily, ongoing, repetitive action. And that's the biggest thing. Just stop doing things that you don't want to. I mean, you know, stop doing the things that you don't want to do, hang a dry erase board by your bed. So one thing, every night before I go to bed, I wipe this dry erase board clean. I've got a list of what I'm grateful for and things that need to be done the next day. So I write those down, go through in very specific detail. I'll typically take a walk, like late night, walking in the dark and kind of rehearsing some of those to myself. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, roll over and look at that big dry erase board that's got my list, and I go through and start checking those off. And a lot of times I'll take a picture of that list on my smartphone so that if I'm not going to be at the house that day, I've got the list in my pocket that shows here's what needs to be done, here's what I'm grateful for.
Yeah. So
that's a big thing, but
no, that's great. Like it's these little things that you do that can just slowly improve yourself over time. The effect of compounding. Like when things compound for the first while, you might be doing them. It just you feel like you're getting absolutely nowhere, but then all of a sudden one day, bang, and it's happened, and it's that what you're doing just now that has created and got yourself to where you are just now, just by that little consistency.
Let me share a quick story, if you don't mind, about our group. So I at the time owned 3 retail stores, best cellular, cell phone stores, and a nationwide company. And so we had all these employees that were working, trying to grow the Success, Motivation, Inspiration Facebook group. And we spent a year and a half to get that to, I think it was I think the big goal we had was 5,000 followers. Maybe it was 3,000 followers. I mean, it was just looking back, it was a tiny, it was 3,000 followers. Our main goal, so we spent a year and a half trying to get 3,000 followers. And I took our entire staff, all the retail stores, took us out for a big pizza dinner to celebrate. Another night we met up for steak, just when we had reached that goal, and working our guts out. You'd go days without adding anybody. I'm out inviting every friend, family, every customer that walks in the store. Okay, please join this group. And it took us a year and a half to get 3,000 members. Now we gain 2,000 to 3,000 members every day without ever asking anybody to join. It's just that snowball compounding effect. So,
that's an amazing example of just really how, by that motivation to just keep pushing, and now you're in the position now where you don't have to push because it comes to you. It's brilliant. It really is. Absolutely. And so from what you've said, you've obviously done very well in business throughout your lifestyle. So what is your goals for the next step in business for yourself?
So that kind of changes on a daily basis. I am not really good. I have goal set all the time, but what I'm working on right now, we've got that massive following on the different groups and pages and stuff.
Yeah.
I just purchased a place where we're going to build out it's a house. It's got a couple of spare bedrooms. One of the rooms is going to be a green room, a dedicated green room studio, kind of like the Hollywood studios. This is a green screen behind me right now. So, I can change that to whatever kind of a screen, but we'll have an actual dedicated professional green room studio in there. And, so that'll be a fun thing. And then there's another room that's going to be turned into a whole podcasting, sound deadened podcasting studio. So it'll be a pretty fun thing. But that is, all just to keep creating quality, daily consistent quality content and increase that production value so that it looks nicer for customer, for people to watch. And
no, definitely, yeah. It kind of relates back to what you just said in the previous question. It's all just about consistency and just slowly progressing, and then these are the things that keep you current and competent in what you're doing, and it is great for business. It really is. And so, in terms of business, what would you say to anybody that's thinking about they've got their goals inside their head, but they don't have the courage to start anything? What would you say to them?
So I had this answer written out as well, but I'm going to change this just a hair. First off, I'd say if you are the type of person that loves going to work, showing up to work every day at 9 a.m., going home at 5 p.m., not worrying, not having any risk, not having anything not wondering if the bills are going to be paid next month, don't start a business. Keep going to work, keep doing what's, if you love your job and you love the people you work with, be happy and keep going to work and just keep doing what you've been doing right now and what's making your life good. If you're someone like the majority of the folks in our group here that are trying to become entrepreneurs or trying to become, maybe you're making $100,000 a month and you're trying to go up, maybe you're just getting started, but start taking chances, take calculated risks, and start today. You know, it's every single day. I started this thing now. I'm on Amazon Fire TV and, you know, some different things there. I started that recording, just doing daily videos on a cell phone. So I'd get up and, you know, I'm walking around, take a walk around the one of our old retail stores there, just saying, okay, what do you guys think about motivation? I was just kind of trying to find my own personal voice and my presence on camera there. And I've been on video hundreds of times, and you can hear with the problems I've got with speaking or remembering what I was supposed to say. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So just start creating content and start being. Don't give up after a month or 6 months or a year when you're feeling like, well, I really should have done better. Just keep going, and you'll end up where you should be.
No, definitely. Like, that's great advice for people that just haven't got that courage to take that step into whatever their goals are. As you say, they can be split between the smallest goals right up to being big businessmen or wanting to take the next big step in their careers. It really is. It's been fantastic to have you on here, and I'm really, really happy that I could get you here for a chat, to get your experiences and just to get kind of your life story and why you are in the position today. But you're just great inspiration for people that kind of really want to start something. They can see that you've came from where you came from, and like, you're obviously doing amazing just now. So it really has been amazing to have you on. It's been good to see.
And thanks so much, Angus. Hey, I would love to have you on the channel as well, and do an interview with you and just kind of share your journey and what you're doing with your company as well. So if you're cool with that, I'd love to have you on.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, thank you. I'd really like to talk about motivational consults, which is my business, and how I've taken that and how I'm trying to grow that business, and what we really target, and what we're looking to take people from and to, and how we can help people out. But that would be great, Curtis. Thank you.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. We'll connect here as soon as we get off this video, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Angus. See ya.